I'm going to reveal this secret of nature just through the plucking of a harp string. You might think that each of these harp strings gave you one note per pluck.
Well, you'd be wrong. Depending on how you pluck it, each string has 2, 3, or even 4 different notes on offer. It's just that the extra ones are in hiding, and if no one told you how to find them, they'd stay a secret forever. What's more, they were put there by nature, not humankind. Katrin will now play some of the secret notes.
These hidden notes are called harmonics, and harmonics are what help to create hierarchies in notes and chords.
It just so happens that the note B flat, for example, when it occurs in nature, actually has contained within it a spectrum of other notes, just like the invisible colours inherent in natural white light. The existence of these other, barely audible notes gives the sound its rich and full quality. Now let's hear the fundamental note you get when you pluck the string normally. Now Katrin will play the same string with her palm against the string in order to reveal the hidden first harmonic. Magic, isn't it? As a matter of fact, every single note has a whole series of its own harmonics, but the human ear can only pick out the first 3 or 4 in the sequence. A dog or a dolphin might be able to hear more of them, which is presumably why you don't get that many harp-playing dolphins and Labradors, since it must be a right racket to them. Here's the clever bit. When European musicians began using chords, the first clusters they started to put together were formed by teasing out the nearly silent harmonics and giving them a full-bodied presence in the sound. So if your basic note was B flat, and your harmonics were a high and quiet F, and an even quieter, even higher D, you turned these into proper sounding notes by using the non-harmonic equivalents and making a chord out of them. The basic meat and veg chord that we make up from harmonics is known as a triad, not because of any links with organised crime, but because it's made up of 3 principal notes. Here's the C major triad. You can build a triad based on any note you like. So on F, it's this, on G, it's this, and so on. In fact, every note in the Western scale is capable of generating its own major triad, so long as you enlist the help of some of the black notes, the sharps and flats. In other words, you can have 12 separate major triads, and with them you can harmonise an enormous amount of music, from the medieval troubadours to rock and roll.
One riddle never touches your head, son. Oh, baby, drive me crazy. Oh, goodness gracious, great ball to fire.
Tender is my heart, screwing up my life.
But if you only had those 12 major triads, you'd be missing out big time without their dark side, the minor triads. A minor triad differs from its major siblings in only one respect. Its middle note is a half step lower in pitch. This seemingly tiny adjustment has a big impact. It turns the mood of the chord somber. Why? Well, the middle note of a minor chord is much less prominent in the harmonic series than the middle note of a major chord. It's still there all right, but it's faint and distant. This weakens the minor chord. It's as if it has fewer natural ingredients. It's not so organic. It's more fragile and vulnerable than the major. That's why sad music on the whole is minor and happy music is major. Take this ravishingly beautiful and sad piece in a minor key. Because in Western music there are 12 basic notes to choose from, we now have 12 major triads and 12 minor triads, and with them we can add chords to almost any piece in the whole of the Western repertoire. There are many ways of bringing chords to life in music. One way is to have a piano or a guitar or something similar and simply thrash them out one after another in blocks underneath the melody, like this. Another way is to interweave separate individual melody lines so that they coagulate into chords as they coincide. This is called polyphony, meaning many voices. In this piece of 16th century choral music you're about to hear, the chords are made up from intermingled solo vocal lines. It's the opening of William Byrd's Mass for Four Voices, and though it doesn't sound like it, what you're actually hearing is a series of shifting chords.
So how do you select the appropriate chords for a tune? Guesswork? Luck? Trial and error? Well, believe it or not, that is one way you can do it, but it's very slow and frustrating. There's a much simpler and more effective way. Each note in your melody has a possible 6 chords to which it belongs. So you decide which one of the 6 best fits the mood of the song at any particular point.
Let's do it with Silent Night. First, we've got to identify the important beats or accents in the tune. These are the same as they would be if it were a poem. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. The melody notes for those important accented notes are G for silent, Sa, and G again for holy, Ho, and then D for the first O, and C for the second O. Now we've got to find strong chords to fit those notes. So the first note, Sa, is a G, and it can fit G major, G minor, E minor, E flat major, and C major. But since the tune falls down to an E just in the next phrase, silent night, it would be good to have one chord that would fit both those notes. And that narrows our choice. We've got E minor, too gloomy for Christmas, I think, and C major, which sounds just right. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.
This may be a very simple example, but it's a method that works. The 24 major and minor triads handled almost every harmonization going between about 1200 and 1600. Not bad.
Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep